And we're back, ladies and gents, with game 2 here between Prismatic Esports and DoV Chaos. I'm Random Minion Caster, and this is the Demacian division of the Coalition League's summer split. On the blue side, this game is going to be Prismatic. On the red side, DoV Chaos. Prismatic winning game 1 here very handily in game 1 with their comfort picks. And as we go into picks and bans, I am expecting some adaptations here from DoV Chaos because their draft simply did not work out for them. Now Prismatic going to ban out the Varus, Thresh, Rumble, Talia, and they're going to have a small change up here as they're going to ban out the Orianna that worked so well for Judas last game. Judas performing admirably considering that his team was getting slaughtered all around him. On the side of DoV Chaos, they're changing up their bans as well. Darius, Mordekaiser, Pyke, Garen, Shen. So they're going to put even more focus here against Just Storming in the top lane. 4 bans leveled at him, as well as the Pyke against Dark Prince there, not wanting Dark Prince to be able to get that slippery assassin that managed to keep avoiding the ganks. In terms of picks for Prismatic, not a ton of changes here. They're going to go with the Graves once again. Nautilus here for support most likely, it looks like. And that will go to Dark Prince. So exchanging one hook champion for another. So amusing, going to get the Kai'Sa that was banned out against him here in game 1. The Tahm Kench most likely going to go into the top lane for Just Storming. So looks like all those top lane bans having an effect there, forcing him onto an off-meta champion. And Veigar once more for Casino in the mid lane. Did have a bit of difficulty with it in lane, but that is to be expected considering the weak laning phase that Veigar does tend to suffer from. On the side of DoV Chaos, they're going with a completely different lineup here for game 2 in terms of their champion picks. Olaf in the jungle for Sonic Apps, Alistar, Caitlyn in that bot lane, Fiddlesticks and Echo. Actually, pardon me, it might not be an Olaf in the jungle. Very interesting here because Echo, Fiddle, Olaf, all of them can go into the jungle, into the top lane, and potentially into the mid lane as well. Most likely going to be an Echo mid, I suspect. And it'll be a question of whether the Olaf or Fiddles is going to be in the jungle. We do see more Olaf top than we do Fiddlesticks, but definitely interesting composition coming out from the side of DoV Chaos here. And once again, Prismatic's team composition, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a bit of a mix all around. But this time they have a bit more tanky front line here. They've got Nautilus, they've got Tahm Kench. They can try and keep the Veigar safe. Kai'Sa and Graves both mobile enough to get in and out of fights. Should be fine to stay alive there. And against them, DoV Chaos, their composition also very interesting here. Still a lot of good team fight possibilities here. You can still get the Crow Storm out of Fiddlesticks. Echo able to get into that backline, assassinate people, get an AoE stun down. The Alistar for Plaguekeeper able to also provide a lot of front lining, a lot of peel. And Caitlyn, one of the safest ADCs as well. They don't really have an assassin on the side of Prismatic, so we'll have some difficulty reaching that Caitlyn as well. And through it all, you'll have Sonic Apps able to just run through their front line, find targets. And I do like the Tahm Kench pick from Prismatic to sort of counter the Olaf there, because you can't kill somebody whom Tahm Kench has swallowed. So it doesn't matter that you can't CC Olaf if he can't reach his target. And with that, we will, without further ado, just hit right over into the game here for both teams. I'm wondering if Prismatic is going to, DoV Chaos is going to look for another invade here in this game. They are clustered together. They have an Alistar. Very strong in the level 1 with the Pulverize, can potentially CC 4 to 5 players at the same time. An interesting thing to note here is that Dolphin running the Grasp of the Undying on his Caitlyn there. So going for a bit of that safer, tankier Caitlyn will do a little bit of damage as well. It's not something that we see a lot of, but it's definitely something that does show up in solo queue from time to time. And it looks like DoV Chaos just going to disengage, not really going to invade potentially. I think they just saw Dark Prince standing there and not wanting to go in on that. Not sure if the rest of the team was there and wasn't confident they'd be able to get that fight top lane. SSJR and Just Storming trading already. SSJR potentially going to get taken a lot of damage right now. And Casino waiting over in the Baron pit, seeing if he can get a little bit of poke as well, get some stacks going. And so that will be, interestingly enough, a top lane Fiddlesticks. Definitely not something I've seen a lot of, but he has been known to go to that top lane, especially there is a new tank Fiddlesticks that has been getting very popular right now in solo queue. Once you build that Spirit Visage, you can start lifestealing off a lot of your minions, a lot of the enemies there. It can be very, very difficult to kill, especially for a Tahm Kench, who doesn't have a ton of damage built into his kit there. But the CC is often considered a good counter to that Fiddlesticks, because if you can stop him draining, you can reduce a lot of his sustainability. So definitely very excited to watch this particular matchup. But for now, Just Storming seeming to win the trades right now with the autos. But there we go. There's that drain, that lifesteal, and Just Storming has to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage from minions here. Is only level 1. Just has the Tongue Lash, does not have his shield nor the Devourer available. So SSJR is going to be able to heal up after that big trade in the top lane, and going to find himself in a very comfortable position in against the Tahm Kench. DoV Chaos this game looking to have a much better early game, and we'll have to see if the reverse is true. We saw Just Storming take over a game from the top lane. We'll have to see if SSJR can do the same when he manages to get himself leads. And one of the big things in this top lane to note with the Fiddlesticks is bush control. If he can get control of the bushes there, he can do a lot of damage. And there we go, the drain coming out. Can he get the first blood against Just Storming here? Just needs one more auto. The stun coming out, the drain once more. It will not be enough, and Just Storming able to walk away just under 10 health there. Somehow surviving that trade, and that's the flash coming off SSJR. And we do see Matsy coming to pick up the kill here. Instantly just blowing all his skills. We'll be able to pick that up. Looks like it was the red buff there picking up SSJR, and that will be first blood going the way of Prismatic Gaming once again. And as much as we can talk about all the advantages of seeing a Fiddlesticks in that lane, it's not a 1v1. There are junglers now mid lane too. We're seeing the reverse happen here as Sonic Abs looking to try and find a kill onto Casino, but a good Event Horizon will keep him safe, and he's just going to get some free stacks off the poke onto Sonic Abs there. Matsy also waiting in the bush now just in case they decide to reprise that gank. And Judah's doing a great job in the mid lane as well. Once more getting those advantages, those leads against Casino on the Veigar. Looking like he's very comfortable playing against the Veigar, currently able to take advantage of Veigar's weak laning phase here. But it is a bit of a ticking time bomb. If the game goes late, that Veigar skills incredibly here for themselves. DoV Chaos having the Caitlyn as well for late game insurance. We'll have to see if they can survive the bot lane a bit better this time. Nautilus versus Alistar. We've seen this matchup before. Alistar seeming to counter a lot of the current tanky initiating supports like Leona and Nautilus. So Dolphin and Plague should be able to keep themselves safe in this lane. They do have to sustain the heals from Plague right now, keeping them really healthy and topped up. So as long as Dolphin can dodge the hooks coming out of Dark Prince there, they should be just fine in that bot lane. We do see Matsy coming down to the bot side once again. Does know that that ward is being suppressed right now, so will not get spotted going into that bush. And we'll have to see if he goes for that early Drake again like he did last time. Did solo it with the Grave. Top lane Just Storming and SSJR trading once again here. SSJR getting devoured, but he doesn't care. He actually is just waiting for that so he can drain uninterrupted, and Just Storming getting the worst of that trade once again. Struggling to even CS right now. Is already down about 15 CS in that top lane. And we do see Plague Keeper now getting targeted here by So Amusing Dark Prince. Matsy as well in the area, but a good flash will keep him safe. The hook comes back in. The flash coming out from So Amusing to pick up the kill there. And that's 2 kills going the way of Prismatic right now. And it's looking awfully similar to game 1 here in terms of the kills. But Just Storming still struggling a little bit in that top lane, so will not be able to take over the game quite the same way. And they'll have to find some other lane to get a lead. Mid lane, the Ignite coming down onto Casino. It might be enough? No, it will not. Casino able to get away with just over 50 health, but Dolphin just diving that turret once more, taking advantage of knowing his ults will be able to find the kill. And Dark Prince with the anchor toss just barely tags Sonic Abs, and suddenly kills happening across the board right now. Just Storming going to take SSJR on a trip under the turret, and he's going to take a lot of damage here. The drain though, look at that go. He went from almost no health back to about a third of his health, but he is out of mana, and Just Storming able to pick up a solo kill against SSJR. Prismatic also able to pick themselves up the Mountain Drake once again here, continuing their Drake streak from game 1, and they're finding themselves leads all over 4-1. Prismatic just knowing what it is they want. Right now I feel like I can't sing enough praises about the way Prismatic has been playing out their games thus far. Very, very coordinated, able to just get advantages all across the map, and it's not so much just individual mechanics, although that is playing a huge part in the game right now, but it's also just that they seem to know how to apply pressure. As soon as they see someone in a lane, they instantly rotate and get an objective on the other side of the map. But Just Storming here gonna get caught basing by Sonic Abs, will be killed right there, and there's absolutely nothing he can do about that. Wanted to push the wave into the turret and will pay for that with his life here. And that's actually really, really bad news for the side of Prismatic, specifically Just Storming, because that's going to give SSJR more time to farm it up, get even more of a lead than he already has. And SSJR going to pick himself up a Glacial Shroud right away, interestingly enough, for his early buys. Just Storming going to pick himself up a Bramble Vest, wants to cut some of the healing there from SSJR. Casino has to be careful. Gonna get chunked down to 20% already. We saw Dolphin just diving him, pardon, not Dolphin, Judas just diving him earlier under his turret, and if he's that low, he might get popped once again. Judas already applying the damage. Can he get the third stack there? Will not quite be able to take Casino down. But Casino extremely, extremely low. Will go down if Judas so much as sneezes at him properly there. And it looks like Prismatic is content to just sort of leave Casino on his own in this very difficult lane matchup. He's already fallen behind by about 25 CS against Judas, but Matsi just focusing on farming it up, applying the pressure into his winning lanes instead. And we do see now Just Storming roaming into that mid lane, looking to try and get something onto Judas, but Judas able to just walk away there. They had enough vision, saw the frog running down the river, and he will not be able to find anything. And now Plague Keeper getting a beautiful hit, but pulverized onto 2. The depth charge coming off onto Dolphin right now, but Dark Prince has the ignite on him, turned back in. I'm not sure he wanted to do that. Will end up going down there, and now it's so amusing having to handle the 1v2. The ace in the hole coming out, will be able to pick him off, and Plague Keeper with the Unbreakable will able to survive. Top side, a fight breaks out as well, and we do see Just Storming going down despite the shield. Judas able to pick that up. Matsi running for the hills. Will the ignite be enough to take him down? No, will not, but Judas can do it using the Chrono Shift to get himself back out as well. It's clean as no one goes down on the side of DoV Chaos, and they find themselves 4 kills here on the map. Ironically, the only person not going down for the side of Prismatic Gaming is Casino, who was the one person who was struggling the most in his lane. Really well played, well-timed dives on the top and bot side. DoV Chaos now looking to pick Shelly up. The Primordial Burst coming out from Casino, trying to pick Sonic Abs up, but Sonic Abs with the smite will remain healthy. And now Casino finally going down, the last one in the series there. And that's going to be Herald also being picked up by Sonic Abs. Judas just an absolute monster for his team here on the side of DoV Chaos. Already 4-0 right now. Last game, we saw him being the one to pick up the kills on the Orianna as well. And this time with the Echo, he's going to be able to roam that much more. And he's going to be a lot stronger in these early skirmishes here as well. We'll be able to back Sonic Abs up in the jungle. So that's already a huge lead for the side of DoV Chaos. In terms of competition, I do give this DoV Chaos as well. We see SSJR now teleporting to that bot lane, looking to try and pick up So Amusing, but Dark Prince is going to be able to slow him down, force to disengage, and that's going to be a bit of a waste on the teleport. The Dragon won't be up for 45 seconds, and this is going to give time to Just Storming in that top lane to just apply pressure, get plates, and he's going to do a lot of damage to this plate, and they're still not sending anyone there. SSJR basing right now, but by the time he reaches that top lane, that turret might not be standing anymore. It's already down to its last plate here. Casino once more. Look at that burst being applied to him. 70% of his health in one combo. Judas is 2 levels up right now from Casino. Has the Hextech Proto Belt built as well, and so will be comfortable just diving the turret repeatedly onto Casino. If they don't send help, he might go down. And now the depth charge coming out onto Dolphin. So amusing going in as well, but Matsi and Sonic Abs both here already, and we do see So Amusing going down. A flash from Sonic Abs to be able to pick it up and keep himself safe. He has to be careful though. The teleport from Casino means that they have backup as well. It's now a 3v3 right until Judas appeared. Can they get the stun? No, they can't, but they don't need it. They can just get the straight damage there, and a good punt from Platekeeper will knock Casino out of safety, and that will be 2 more going down. That's going to be a 3-0 once again for DoV Chaos. DoV Chaos just seeming like they've got Prismatic's number this game in terms of these skirmishes. And that's going to be first turret as well as they drop Shelly. Ace in the hole coming out will be able to pick Matsi out. And that's going to be 4 kills and first turret. We saw Just Storming applying so much pressure in the top. It looked like he was going to be the one to get the first turret for Prismatic. But in just a blink of an eye, it gets turned around. And DoV Chaos instead the one who picks up the first turret as well as a dragon for themselves. And this bodes really ill here for the side of Prismatic Gaming. They picked their composition with a bunch of comfort picks here. And yeah, I guess the bans against Just Storming are working out really well because he's not able to really take over his lane the way he did in game 1. Mid lane right now, Casino struggling to find anything. So he's definitely not going to be the win condition here for the side of Prismatic. And as we say that, Just Storming just pounding away on SSJR right now. SSJR might go down here. He gets the Fear of, dodges the Tongue Lash, and he does manage to get safely under his turret. Right now, he's going to lose these extended trades, it looks like. That Bramble Vest is doing work as it cuts his healing. And SSJR are going to be more comfortable fighting in large waves where he can drain multiple targets. Going to complete the Frozen Heart there for himself early. Will have a bit more mana. Will have the armor to deal with some of Tahm Kench's damage there. And yeah, so going back to what I was saying, Prismatic Esports are going to struggle here to find a way to get back into the game. Matsi not able to just carry a game on his own. Bot lane is where they'll have to look at, but they've been diving, and now we see another dive. Platekeeper going under the mid lane turret here. Will use the Unbreakable Will. Will survive the collateral damage as well and will remain safe. So that is an ultimate use, but that's a fairly short cooldown one on the collateral damage. So will be balanced out with the Unbreakable Will. And while that was happening, Just Storming able to pick himself up the first start of the game for the side of Prismatic as well, closing the gold gap a little bit. Now Dark Prince getting caught out, and this time he's not on Pike, cannot just disengage easily. Looking like he's going to get hunted down here. A good flash to keep himself to safety, but he has to make sure he doesn't get spotted out or Ace in the Hole might come out. And Dark Prince pulling off yet another impossible escape, this time on Nautilus, who is not considered generally a very, very slippery champion. Extremely well played from him to get out of a very, very hairy situation there. And now the siege continues into that mid lane. Casino putting down the event horizon will be able to get out, and Judas just diving without a care right now while his team is taking out that outer turret. And they pick themselves up the second turret there, and that's the strength of that Caitlyn, the range, the siege ability she provides there with the traps, with the Pilt over Peacemakers, and just her auto attack range enables her to get damage down onto those turrets safely there. And now DoV Chaos here in the driver's seat. Can they close out as quickly as Prismatic did in game 1? In game 1, we saw Prismatic. They were in the control the entire time. They were the one making proactive, aggressive moves, looking for dives, looking for objectives, looking for turrets. This game, DoV Chaos in the driver's seat. So far, they have been making some proactive moves, have gone for the Drake, have gone for the turrets, but a lot of it also was just being able to reverse those ganks coming out of Prismatic Esports. And that's, like I said, bad news for the side of Prismatic Esports, because if they're the ones making proactive moves when they're behind and they're not able to pull them off, then they're just giving further leads to the side of DoV Chaos. And now DoV Chaos starting up the Herald there, wanting to make sure that they secure this one here for themselves. And Dark Prince in that bot lane, gonna get caught out once again, this time not able to find a way out. Did not get the turret either, so will go down, giving a free kill as well as Herald the way of DoV Chaos. And these are all the tools DoV Chaos needs to just start taking turrets with. And if you're the side of Prismatic, how do you really try and get back into the game here? Because it looks like Just Storming doing well for himself, but still struggling to find kills. And he's built a bit of a mix here. He's got the Wit's End, so he's got good magic resistance against SSJR. Has the Bramble Vest, has some armor, has Balmy Cinder as well. Is a little bit tanky, but who's he going to take? How's he going to initiate? He can't really properly initiate here. Doesn't have a good, reliable CC. Requires quite a few stacks to get the Devourer off. Other than that, the only other thing is he can bring someone in with him. So really, on the side of Prismatic, they're looking for either Vigar, Casino to get a Baby Cage down, which catches out the enemy, or they're looking for Dark Prince to engage. But they're both so far behind right now. They're not tanky enough to pull this off. If Dark Prince initiates a fight, he might go down instead. And neither do they have the burst, so amusing. A little bit behind the curve here. Has the Manamune stacking, but it hasn't fully stacked yet. And on the side of Dolphin, he's got the Infinity Edge complete already, and we're seeing the damage that Caitlyn can put out right now with that item complete. Every time a headshot comes down, somebody loses a ton of health. And with that, DoV Chaos going to be able to pick up their second Drake of the game, the Ocean Drake, with really no contest from the side of Prismatic. And Prismatic happy to just stall and farm out here. They need to get gold in their pockets, try and extend the game. They're only about 3,500 gold behind. I say only, but it's 18.5 minutes. It is a significant gold gap, but it could be so much worse for them right now. And they're just stalling it out for now, just trying to get themselves back into the game. They still have the Vigar to keep on scaling. Primordial Burst can turn fights. We've seen it plenty of times before. The Baby Cage breaks fights up as well, so that the side of DoV Chaos, they'll have a harder time getting that orthodox front to back fight, which they would really prefer to get. Casino once more getting dove on that bot side by Judas, just applying some poke, but Judas can continue doing that every time he gets minions pushed in. Top lane, we see Sonic Abs here dropping the Herald. They do get the final outer turret, and bot lane, Judas, there we go, that's the dive we're talking about. He's got like 7-0-2. The hard carry for his team as he finds Casino once more. Casino not having a good game. 0-4-0 right now. Just not able to safely farm. Anywhere he goes, Judas is sure to follow. And now Just Storming in the jungle, potentially getting caught out here. We see the Crow Storm coming out, the flash from SSJR to keep him in there. The drain as well, but the shield from Tom going to be able to keep him alive a bit longer. And Sonic Abs has the flash out as he's taking way too many turret shots there. But while all that's happening in the top lane, Judas in the mid, Dolphin in the mid lane, pardon me, able to just keep getting damage, and that inner turret's not going to last for much longer here. Just a couple more autos should be able to take it down. And that Grasp of the Undying so far for Dolphin, doing quite a bit of work here. Able to keep him really safe, healthy, topped up, and the additional little bit of burst as well, helping to just get Hope down when he's sieging up those turrets. DoV Chaos taking their time here. They are going to go back to base, pick up more items. Dolphin going to complete himself the rapid fire cannon for Judas here. He's got the Lich Bane and the Proto Belt, the core of his build already completed. Most likely going to build a Zhonya's Nyx to enable himself to dive that much more aggressively. SSJR picking himself up the Spectral Cowl, looking to finish that Spirit Visage will just make him so tanky there. And there's really not much healing cut on the side of Prismatic Esports right now, just the Bramble Vest there. And there we go, Judas just diving in, able to find Casino once more. 100-0 there. Did not have to use his ultimate, did not have to use Ignite. And there's just, you just can't leave Casino on his own like that anymore. You need to make sure he's warded up anytime he's on his own, or he's just going to get bursted down. They've sent Dark Prince and Matzi down to that bot side, but at this point, I'm not sure that either of them can really handle Dolphin alone or even together. And we do see now Just Storming showing up in that mid lane, potentially looking for a fight, but he's not tanky enough. He's alone and no one with him. The teleport coming out from SSJR as well, and they're just going to be able to burst him down right away, and that's basically a suicide from Just Storming there. Now Dark Prince getting caught out while he's trying to make it into the lane will get melted, and that's going to be the inner turret in the mid lane going down. SSJR are going to use the Crow Storm to shove that much faster, trying to find So Amusing, but So Amusing able to get out with a flash. That's the mid lane inhibitor down as well right now. The inhibitor turret, pardon me, and the inhibitor suit to follow, and it's only Matzi, Casino, and So Amusing alive, but Casino is just going to keep pushing out that bot wave. He knows he can't join the fight, or he's going to get insta-bursted right there. Level 11 right now, really, really far down. 2 levels down from his counterpart, Judas. They are now potentially looking to try and catch him out here. Event Horizon coming, will not catch anyone, and just one headshot from Caitlyn will seem almost dead. The Primordial Burst coming out, but just not enough damage quite yet, and that's onto the squishiest member of DoVC Chaos. We do see the collateral damage as well, but still, again, not enough. Didn't even have to use the heal. Dolphin just able to remain safe. Judas gonna have to use the Chrono Shift to get himself back out there, though, almost going down under the turret, and they will be able to retreat just in time to be able to pick up the Ocean Soul, the Ocean Drake, pardon me, that will be coming up in about 10 seconds here. And Prismatic might want to see if they can push this, because DoVC Chaos is a little low on health right now. They are regenerating from the Ocean Drake, but unfortunately for them, Matzi and Casino, both back in base, will not be able to get there in time, so they have no way of contesting this dragon. Their smite not available to them. Sonic Abs is there, will be able to smite, and they don't have any true damage like a Cho'Gath Feast or a Nunu Consume to contest at all for now. So Amusing getting caught out, and Judas just going hard there, looking for the kill. The Ignite's down, but it's going to be Sonic Abs going to train him down. Just Storming able to devour. That was the combination we spoke about to try and keep yourself safe from an Olaf. And they're just going to keep on running. Ace in the hole coming out. Just Storming going to be the one to take that there. And the Ignite from Plaguekeeper will be ultimately what managed to finally take So Amusing down. A beautiful hit pulverize to keep Just Storming in place. They're going to be able to pick him up as well. Casino going to dance as he knows there's nowhere for him to go. Going down as well. And that's going to be a 3-0. And you've really got to question what on earth So Amusing was doing there. They already knew they lost the dragon. They should have just backed right off at that point. The time to contest that was before the Drake went down, not after. And that might just spell the end of the game here. The death timer is not too long at this point. It's 25 minutes, so Just Storming, Casino, and So Amusing will be back up shortly. But they're going to lose the bot lane inhibitor turret and potentially the inhibitor as well. And that means the entire bottom side of their base is cracked wide open here. The anchor toss going to land onto Sonic Abs, but Dark Prince is no one to back him up, because Plaguekeeper able to zone them out in the top side of that fight. And they will be able to pick themselves up the inhibitor. Prismatic now going to have issues with super minions pushing in 2 of their waves. Only the top turret still left. The inner turret very low though here. Less than 20% will go down quite easily. And with that, DoVC Chaos has their pick of what they want to do. Really, they can continue to pressure the top side, either Baron or that turret, or both at the same time even, because that is an inner turret there. It's not that far away from the Baron. While they've got super minions pushing down the bot and mid waves, and the shoe seems to be on the other foot this game. Game 1, we saw Prismatic just running all over DoVC Chaos. This game, it's quite the opposite. DoVC Chaos seeming to have the better laning, have the better team fight, and because Prismatic's composition is a little bit of a mixture, they don't have a proper comeback mechanic. They need to look for picks, but Casino is the one constantly getting picked here for the side of Prismatic. He's going to go down once again, and Judas, legendary here on this Echo, 10-0-4. Now Sonic Abs here potentially getting caught up, but he's called for support, and Judas will be in there, will be able to easily pick out Matzi for himself. Still has the Chrono Shift, Chrono Break available, and Just Storming going to be forced out. He's healthy, but he knows the entire enemy team has shown up here. They're going to pick up the Honey Fruit and start up this Baron here, and this will be the beginning of the end for Prismatic. there's really no way for Prismatic to get back into the game at this point. 4-22, even more one-sided than game 1. And while I was praising Prismatic for how aggressively or how decisively they play the map, it does look like a double-edged sword here. They're decisive in their wins, but in their losses as well. The decisiveness is coming back to bite them as they're picking fights that they can't seem to win. And that is costing them the game here. And going into game 3, I think both teams will be quite happy to see what they can do. On the side of Prismatic, they're going to have to figure out what they want to ban, because they seem to struggle with quite a few picks here. The Caitlyn definitely giving a lot of problems, and the Alistar I think might actually have been the key in that bot lane there, because Darkpin's not able to find the engages that he was looking for against an Alistar who's so tanky, who provides sustain in lane, and who basically stops all engages. If you hook him, that's just a free engage for Plagued Keeper instead. And Dolphin playing this game really well too. 4-0-6, has not died a single time, able to get that range, that spacing, and with the Grasp with the Undying, also able to keep himself topped up in health and extremely safe in a lot of these fights. Mid lane, Judas too with that Echo. The man is 11-0-4, and really, what do you do against like such a strong champion and a lane? And just really, you just have to ban it. Either that or you have to counter pick it. Make sure you don't pick early. And they're starting the final fight here. The Crow Storm coming in. Casino has to be careful. Will get popped by an auto attack from Dolphin there. It's just so squishy. 0-9-0. The man is almost half his team's deaths alone right now. And this is the final push here. Everybody else on the side of Prismatic just really backing off. They're not going to fight this. They're just going to let the game go instead and look towards game 3 here. A 28-minute game, 23-4. That scoreline alone tells you how incredibly one-sided this game was. And really, no one on the side of Prismatic able to find a way back into the game. Last game, when we did see DoV Chaos going down, Judas was still able to try and find ways into the game, ended with a positive scoreline. But this game, there just wasn't a way. There was no way through the composition. The Tahm Kench could not go in there. Graves and Kai'Sa did not want to be the initiators. Dark Prince on the Nautilus, as soon as he initiates, he gets popped right away. He was the support. He's broke. He doesn't have the money to buy the tank items. Casino, 0-9-0, just not able to do anything, and just became basically a walking caster minion for the enemy team there. So definitely Prismatic gonna have to take a bit of time here and try and figure out what they're gonna do into game 3, because this evidently did not work for them here in game 2. So I'm expecting to see huge changes here from the side of Prismatic, and I definitely hope to continue seeing that. Fiddles in the top lane worked really well here for SSJR thus far, providing a lot of vision as well for his team. And with that, we are going to take a break here before we start up that all-important Game 3, which will decide who wins the first match here of the Demacia League, whether it will be DoV Chaos or Prismatic Esports.